Available for pictures with the children. Palm Garden is located on the corner of 27th Avenue and 34th Street. See you at Light Up Palm Garden on Wednesday, December 9, beginning at 6:30.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
21 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. You know, I know that a lot of times this time of year, you're looking at your bank account, you're looking at the calendar, you're saying, how am I going to do this? I'm going to disappoint so many people. You know what? You don't have to worry about it. You know, everybody, you know, you're going to be fine. You know, it's a month from now, you're going to say, what was I so worried about? You know, we do this to ourselves all the time. We get ourselves in a frenzy about the stressful parts of what's supposed to be a beautiful time, which is the holidays. So let's get an expert to help us with this. Vicki Morris is the expert we have on hand right now. She is a career happiness coach. How about that? She's the founder of InspiredWork.com. She's a brand strategist. Oh, I want to pay attention to that part. She's a career mentor, an inspirational business leader, and an author. Her book is called Happy Habits. Energize your career and life in just 4 minutes a day. And it could be a nice gift to yourself. You know, if you're making more money, guess what? It's a gift for your family as well.
Yeah,
right?
It's nice when you have money to do things
and if
with.
you're happy, yeah. Vicki Morris. Good morning, Vicki.
Money.
Good morning, Gators. How's everyone today?
Yay, go Gators. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from California, but I have family in Florida, and they're all big Gators fans.
Oh, so you know.
Get that in there.
Oh, nice.
You know, it's an important following.
So thank you for getting up early to be with us today.
No worries.
So how do you work? I mean, what do you do? Do you take people who are not happy with their jobs and say, and listen to what they have to say, and then say, well, here's an idea for you? I mean, do you give people ideas?
Well, you know, it turns out 80% of people are really unhappy with their work, and I just think that this is a real epidemic. And so I formed a business because I feel like life is too short and people need to be happier.
Yeah, don't tell something you don't like.
And how I do that is really helping them get in touch with their inner GPS, I call it, to figure out what's going to make them happier. Sometimes it's just getting a new job. In some cases, it's actually starting their own career.
Oh, you know, my real GPS sometimes says, when possible, make a U-turn.
You know, sometimes life throws us curveballs, and you know, we do have to make U-turns sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm agreeing with you. So you've got something called the 4-minute method. What is that?
Well, the 4-minute to getting happy habits is based on research from Stanford University, and it's fundamentally about that. It only takes tiny shifts in your day to basically shift to a more positive mindset. And whenever you have holiday stress, this is just a wonderful time to sort of view this as an alert, like a stop sign. Stop, breathe, and just think really about 3 things you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them. And gratitude can shift you into a more positive mindset. That's an example of basically happy habits. You basically take the time, several times a day to basically do 1 minute, I'll call them sort of mini interventions to shift to a more positive mindset. And that has a lasting effect on your happiness.
Well, that's a good idea. Seems pretty straightforward. You know what happens this time of year too, is we'll always hear these heartbreaking stories about the person whose house burned down, or the person who just lost a family member, and then you count your blessings and you say, well, at least I'm not that. At least it didn't happen to me, or maybe that did happen to you, and we find a way to kind of talk ourselves out of feeling down about it, right?
It's so true. There's so many things we can be grateful for. The sunshine, first of all, and the fact that we have clean water, and that, we're safe, and we, have people in our life that we care about. So, each person has their own list of what they can be grateful for.
Do you know what I'm thankful for?
What are you thankful for?
Curly fries. I love curly fries. How do they do that? How do they make the curly fry?
Do you have a particular favorite? Is it an Arby's curly fry?
I think it is.
But people do have to have the money, though. They have to have money just to provide food on the table for their families, put gas in their vehicles. You can have all the happiness in your heart that you want, but if you don't have any means to support even the most basic of needs, you do feel like a failure.
Well, again, the feeling of a failure comes from a mindset, right? I know people have traveled all over the world, and there are people, in other parts of the world who have much less than we do, and and they're quite content. And so, when we're talking about happiness, is not sort of that that fleeting feeling of pleasure and ecstasy all the time, right? That's not realistic. But we're talking about a series of contentment and inner joy. And I think that all of us can find that. I mean, certainly what I've discovered in life is that most of us are looking outside of ourselves, and we're thinking about all the things we don't have. And when we make a shift to thinking about what we do have, and we kind of focus on, that inner joy, then that's the positive mindset that can shift things around.
I had an aha moment. Robin and I both did. At one point, we were riding bicycles, and it was a beautiful day, and we were on one of these trails, and we sat on the grass hill right next to the trail, and it was just beautiful. And I said, if we had all the money in the world, this moment wouldn't be any more beautiful. So we don't really need any money, at that point anyway. Later on we did when we went to McDonald's, but at that point we didn't need any. We'll take a little break. Vicki, I love this conversation, and we need to take a break and do the weather and a few things, and we'll be right back with Vicki Morris.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Intervals of clouds and sunshine on this Wednesday with a shower or thunderstorm in parts of the area. Highs ranging from 71 at the coast to 78 inland. Partly cloudy tonight, lows ranging from the mid-50s inland to about 63 along the coast. Tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun, high 74 to 78. And on Friday, mostly sunny, the high 76 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Ooh, ouch. Does pain have you glued to the couch? Yes, unfortunately it's true that every year we must get older, but that doesn't mean we have to deal with pain in our back, knees, or shoulder. If your muscles and joints are sore, don't worry anymore. Come get acupuncture from me and you'll be pain-free. Acupuncture starts as low as $35 at a Better You Healthcare. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein, at 615-5566. Stop your pain from driving you insane.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Have you heard of Hyperdirectory? When looking for local businesses, go to hyper.directory. No need for www, no need for .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to local companies when it matters most. Hyperdirectory is your local business directory partnered with the Ocala Chamber and Economic Partnership to bring you trusted local businesses. Keeping Ocala local. Use hyper.directory. No www, not even .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to businesses when it matters most.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Located in Ocala, Renstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Renstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Renstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call Renstar at 352-629-5800.
12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Vicki Morris is on the phone. She's a career happiness coach, and she's written a book called Happy Habits, Energize Your Career and Life in 4 minutes a day. And they think there's a website for the book. Vicki, is there a website for the book?
There is. It's called thehappyhabitsbook.com.
Okay, absolutely good. And is this something you stumbled across, or was it the lesson of hard knocks? How did you come up with this information?
It's the lesson of hard knocks. I realized I was looking in all the wrong places for happiness, and the bottom line was that, I was looking, for the next job or getting married, and constantly I was looking in the future for happiness, and kind of kept postponing things and thinking, if I just got, X, Y, or Z, then I'll be happy. And that's the recipe for being unhappy. And I had to turn it all around and figure it out, and I was very, very lucky, as I mentioned, to connect with B.J. Fogg from Stanford University and figure out that it is possible to make these shifts, but you have to do them as tiny habits in your everyday life, and that makes all the difference.
You were lucky enough to be an exchange student in Europe, so you got to see a variety of cultures during your years. Was there one common denominator between every culture that makes people happy?
There is a big common denominator, and that is, just really being able to love yourself and love others. And I was an exchange student in the former Soviet Union, so it was a communist country,
really?
And they were going through a lot of stress at the time. But it really touched me how people could be really open-hearted, and when they opened their heart, they were happier, and they were, amazingly open to becoming friends with an American, which was amazing.
I've often thought that, like when you look at the old storybooks for children, like the characters in those old books lived in these kingdoms, and the king was ruthless, right? And the kingdom hierarchy was ruthless, but the paupers seemed to be playing games and running around with hula hoops and things, right? I always thought, well, we're so concerned with who our leaders and what our leadership is doing, but the truth is, in my own backyard, I'm kind of the king of my own little sandcastle, right?
It's so true, but, good people are everywhere. I had situations where I'd be riding on a metro, and people would strike up a conversation with me and invite me home to dinner, and they became lifelong friends.
Did you go?
I went, and, those are the kinds of amazing experiences you have when you go abroad.
Good. You should accept the...
okay.
You should accept invitations from others and not just dismiss them. You never know what's going to happen.
You
in
ladies
your life.
are so trusting. See, I would say, come on, you don't know these people. You're going to go to their house, they're going to cut your head off or something.
Well, when you are traveling in big cities, you certainly should be prudent, but also you should, sort of trust your gut. I mean, if people are truly kind, then I think it's okay to be trusting and be kind back.
I was really just going for the laugh. All right, so let me ask you this: when we had as a guest Richard Simmons, remember Richard Simmons? We haven't heard from him in a while,
yeah.
But he's the health guru, the fitness guy, and he said take the bad habits and replace them with good habits. It sounds. I mean, that works with losing weight. I'm guessing it works with other things in life as well.
What I found is that focusing on the bad things or the bad habits actually kind of makes it more of a focus. Whereas if you replace them with good habits, then the bad habits just fall away.
And a person has to realize that at one point in life you have some habits and then you outgrow those habits, because like when you're rearing children, the child is your world. If you truly love that child, you build your world around that child, and then the child grows up and has their own families, then you have to get into another happy habit.
Yeah, happy habits do evolve. And you're so right that happiness is something that's just about being present and flowing with the moment.
I'm looking at your website right now. There's a picture on the website, and it's a group shot. And there's one guy not smiling, and you circled his face and you wrote, "Didn't read Happy Habits."
There you go.
Well, you know what? I mean, being happy is it's kind of a choice. I mean, we can sort of say, yeah, I can. I'm not so. Yeah, I'll give you an example of how I made it a choice for myself. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I used to work for the juvenile detention center, and I had the night shift. And when 7 o'clock came around, was my quitting time, and I couldn't wait for 7 o'clock to come around. Sometimes at 6:30 a.m., 30 minutes before I get to go home, there would be a call. There'd be a juvenile delinquent in like 3 counties away, like a 50 or 60-mile drive. And I have to go pick up that kid. And there's no way that we're going to get that done before 7 a.m. So I hated this. I used to hate it. And then I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to like it. I'm going to pretend that for the drive from here to pick up that kid, I'm in a van all by myself. I'm going to pretend I'm on vacation. I'm on the highway just like on a vacation. I'm going to get a coffee just like as if I was on a vacation. And then after I picked up the kid, by the time I see whoever it was, I was over whatever I was frustrated with. And then, it was no big deal. But I kind of made a choice and had a little technique of how I handled it.
Well, you had your very own happy habit. Gretchen Rubin, who's another happiness author, says if you can't get out of it, get into it. And I think that's a perfect example of choosing to be happy.
Sometimes
that's it, yeah.
Sometimes people look at the science of things. Is there something about the science of happiness, or is it just the inner feelings of a person and their attitude?
Well, there is some science behind the correlation between raising your own energy and being happier. Mm-hmm. And so, we can basically use our bodies as barometers if we're doing things that are making us happier or unhappier, and then we can make adjustments. So that's very powerful as well.
Oh, that's a wonderful observation.
Do you have a support, do you have somebody in your life? Because I'm guessing that this is easier said than done sometimes. I'm guessing there are times when you really need somebody else who is the cheerleader for you. Do you have that in your life?
I do. Relationships are, one of the core things to be, being happier, of course, and, surrounding yourself, with friends and family is a way, particularly during the holidays, to be happier. And, of course, if you don't have someone special in your life, this is a wonderful time to be other-focused. For example, you can give back by, taking someone you love to do something kind for them. For example, I know there's that wonderful Florida Christmas train, right?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, the Cannonball train, right?
In the Mount Dora, yeah. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, some things like that. You could basically take a kid or a grandkid to basically enjoy that. So again, I think, Ben Carson has it right. He says happiness is not about what you get, but what you give.
That's right. We have a similar thing that we say. We say when your joy comes from giving, you can never be disappointed.
That's beautiful.
The opposite of that is when your joy comes from receiving, you can often be disappointed.
Yes, and the thing I was saying that I've learned is it's all about mindset. If you're attached to an expectation of getting something, you don't get it, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Oh, what's really nice about the holiday seasons is that we broadcast from a mall. We have a big window, and this is one of the main arteries here through these doors. And you see the people from the Salvation Army, bell ringers, waiting for people to drop coins in. You see the people coming out in and out of the mall. They're shopping, and they have these big bags and stuff that that they're going to be giving as gifts. But all of them take the time to drop something into that red kettle. And that's really where it's at, is in the spirit of giving.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the people who give get something immediately.
The happy habits is what we want you to be directed towards. I think I agree with this whole philosophy here.
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful.
It is written out in a book by Vicki Morris, who is our guest. She's a career happiness coach, and she's also got another site I found. Was it Inspired Work? What was the other one I found?
Inspired Work is my main company website.
So you help people find jobs? Is that what you do?
Yes, that's correct.
So those are that's a big one right there.
Yeah.
If you're looking for work. So, Vicki, thank you for being on the air with us. Is the book available on Amazon and all the other places books are sold?
It is. And can I offer your audience a special exclusive since we're live today?
Sure, of course.
So I'm willing to give away 5 autographed copies of the book to the first 5 people who register at thehappyhabitsbook.com.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Thehappyhabitsbook.com. Well, I'm right there right now. Let me register. Where do I register? Order you a copy today? Is that where I register? Oh, register to win. There it is. I see it. Okay, I will do that later. No, I won't do that. I don't want to get a free one. I want you to give them to the listeners. Vicki Morris, thank you so much for being on the air with us today. Have a great holiday season, and thank you for getting up early again out on the West Coast.
Well, thank you, and I hope you all have a Happy Habits Day.
Very good. Happy Habits. Go to thehappyhabitsbook.com. We'll be right back.
Where am I going to hide the presents so my family can't see what I got them for Christmas? Hey, I know. Neighborhood Storage has units for only $20 till the end of the year. Yep, Elf Storage. With 20 locations, Neighborhood Storage is easy to find and use and only $20. Elf Storage. I mean, Neighborhood Storage. So when you rent the unit before the end of the year and mention WOCA, get a free t-shirt. Neighborhood Storage. I like it. New customers and additional units only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
When I started thinking about this year's Christmas greeting, I wanted to make it something meaningful. So here is my heartfelt wish for us all. Good health, prosperity, and the peace to be happy, whatever our circumstances. Remember the reason for the season. Merry Christmas.
The 2015 Ocala Christmas Parade is December 12th. WOCA is broadcasting live from Hires Baxley's front porch. Here's your chance to join us. Hires Baxley will be offering preferred parking spaces for a minimum donation of $6 per car. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Speaking before the Senate Armed Services Committee, the Defense Secretary talks up the growing use of special forces in fighting ISIS.
American special operators bring a unique set of capabilities that make them force multipliers, such as intelligence gathering, targeting, and enabling local forces. Where we find further opportunity to leverage such capability, we will not hesitate to expand it.
Ash Carter. At the UN Climate Summit in Paris, the Secretary of State warns we'll have only ourselves to blame if we don't act on climate change.
If we continue to allow calculated obstruction to derail the urgency of this moment, we will be liable.
John Kerry. The goal of the UN is to slow the rise of global temps to less than 2% Celsius. Praising her leadership on dealing with the Syrian refugee crisis and standing up to Vladimir Putin's action in Ukraine, Time magazine has named German Chancellor Angela Merkel its Person of the Year. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Meet Vince. Vince hurt himself mountain biking on Saturday.
Because weekend warrior.
Because noob.
Hey!
Vince is supposed to host an important presentation, but he's not going anywhere in that cast. What should he do?
Rhetorical question.
Vince should try GoToMeeting, the simple way to host meetings online, complete with video conferencing and screen sharing. Send out a meeting link and anyone can join from any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Just takes a click.
Where do I sign up?
Visit GoToMeeting.com to start your free 30-day trial. That's GoToMeeting.com.
Tomorrow on NBC, Dolly Parton's true story comes to life in a holiday television event. A child with an impossible dream to become a star, facing tragedy and overwhelming struggles with nothing but love and family.
Love ain't just a feeling, it's an action.
Ricky Schroeder and Jennifer Nettles star in the most inspirational movie of the season, Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors. Tomorrow on NBC.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. The National Peanut Board is holding their quarterly meeting in Atlanta this week. The purpose of that meeting is to discuss the nominations committee report and elect new officers for the coming year. There will also be a discussion of promotions, how to sell more peanuts in America, and another session on export and international trade. There's also a discussion on budgets and evaluations of the various promotions that they conduct. The Grower and Industry Communications Committee will be meeting during this session as they talk about several promotions to help sell more peanuts this coming year. The board is also having a joint promotion with Which, that's WHICH. They sell a lot of sandwiches in America, and they're teaming with the American Peanut Council, which is holding their 75th anniversary this year, on making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the Peanut Butter for the Hungry program. They plan to make 1,000 sandwiches for a local charity organization in Atlanta on Friday. It's called Action Ministries. More than 50 volunteers are expected to participate. The peanut butter and jelly making spreading party takes place at the Colony Square if you're in Atlanta, as they will be delivering those to various people participating in that program. The Georgia Peanut Commission has announced that the deadline is approaching for the